Hey Cybernauts, welcome. Today is your Friday, and I'm here to tell you that we've got Iida Cisecki and Brandon Smith from Quibbit. Quibbit. Quibbit is a fantastic online service and app service that you can get online, download it to your phone, and if you are in Canada right now and soon to be the world, you'll be able to use Quibbit to help you access services for your car, for your vehicle. So not only are we going to talk about this fantastic new app, how the guys met on the Power MBA, how they came together to build this company with a third party, another guy called David, but we're going to find out a little bit more about these people as individuals, who they are, what drives them, their personal struggles, their challenges, what they've overcome to get where they are today. And let me tell you, this is not for the faint of heart. These people, they've been through the rigor, but they've dug deep down, they've looked for their support networks, and they've found the ways that they need to move forward and to make things happen for them. So if you need to gain inspiration, if you're going through difficult times, if you're looking for that next step in life and you're trying to get to, from where you are now to where you envision yourself to be, this podcast is going to help you. This episode is going to help you. So stay tuned and enjoy. This one's for you. Welcome, Cybernauts. Hello.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, how's it going? You okay?
Really good.
Here we are. It's St. Patrick's Day. Neither of us are wearing green. I guess I have a tiny.
Sorry.
I have a tiny little bit of green here. So I'm super excited to find out all about your company, your projects, all about your life and everything. And we're recording, so this is
awesome.
it.
Brandon is coming too, though.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Where is he?
I think he must have just gotten the invite and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because he just emailed, "Hello, there is no link to a Zoom meeting with invite."
Yeah.
Come on, Brandon.
So whereabouts is he based?
In Calgary. We're both in Calgary, but we're on opposite sides. So I'm in the northwest and he's in the southeast.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you do everything remotely? You work everything you work every day together, on this business?
Actually, you know what? You only sent this invite to me.
Oh yeah.
Let me send it to Brandon.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Oh well. Sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, and I'm there sending him messages come on, join. And then he's like, I don't have a link.
We're just teasing him. We're literally teasing him, that's all. We're just Brandon, who are you? Do we need you? Maybe.
Oh, don't say that to him, all right?
Is he a serious guy? Is he super serious?
No.
Okay.
I'm the serious person in this
really
business. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
Actually, there's three co-founders.
Okay.
David is a total party guy. And Brad.
And you're the serious one. I'm
the serious one.
Struggling to see that though. Here we are. Here he is. Hello.
About time.
What time do you call this, Mr. Smith? Maybe can he hear us? Maybe he can't hear us, or maybe he can and he's just ignoring us.
Brandon, can you hear us?
Just now.
Okay. I didn't hear all that.
Yeah, we'll do that again. Mr. Smith, what time do you call this, sir? No, it's my fault because I didn't send you the link.
Get the link, and then I think the reply was only to Iida, so I didn't get it the second time. That's okay. It's just I'm not wanted. I get it.
No, not at all.
I just told Paul I'm the serious one in this. So he's like, what? You're serious? I'm like, yes, I'm the serious one. David, and you're the party I just like
Yeah.
stay in the back.
If there was anyone not to be able to get on the podcast, you should have made it hard for Iida, not for me.
Yeah. Well, it's not too late. I mean, we have created control, Brandon. We can kick her out of the call if she gets out of hand. Like,
Technically my boss.
You better not.
It can happen.
Anyway, good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you. And more importantly, good to see your absolutely stunning beard, mate. That is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it catches me a lot of grief actually from the team, but I'm glad that
Why?
you and I both have some beard love.
Yeah. I mean, I've trimmed mine down a little bit. Last year it was coming out here.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah,
COVID beard.
my mum was very offensive about my beard, so I had to rein it in a little bit, even though I'm 40 years old. Yeah.
Apparently, you should have come in your overalls though. Like, it would have been pretty good.
Quibbit work overalls. I should have.
Yeah, I've got a question about your background there. I can see this like Jackson Pollock style painting going on here. Is that something that you've made?
No, I'm not that artistically talented. It's it's my new wall piece as of about 5 minutes ago, so that it was a little bit better for podcasts, because typically my backdrop is like either a blank wall,
yeah,
or a picture of my kids, and the wife was like, that's going to be distributed. Like, I don't know about our kids' pictures. Meanwhile, my kids' pictures are splattered all over Instagram and Facebook, so I'm like, I don't really think that matters. But anyway, so this came from my living room, and now it's in the office.
I'm just gonna get rid of this this blurry background 1 second. So okay, so you can see how boring this background is, and I have this poster of Godzilla. But just give me 1 minute, okay? So no dead air time. You two continue talking. I'm gonna go and show you what's gonna go up here shortly. Okay, just be 1 second.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, it's a challenge. I like it. It's a backdrop challenge.
I know. Now I'm like, well, you can barely see it. I better go further. No, I can't get it in.
Oh, nice. Look at this coming in.
Oh, I love it.
It's too big. It's good though. That should be there all the time.
No, I think in his podcast though, it's in there.
Oh yeah, all right.
I think he just like he makes us look bad.
You know what I think I gathered from that even more though is that you have an exceptional chair.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
I've just realized he's too bloody big. I spent a fortune on a background and he's too big.
Yeah.
You need to like move your computer a little bit further, right? So then
I probably will do that. I'm gonna have to move the room around or use a different room or something. But yeah, I'll see. Actually, I'll get the background.
Oh, you're gonna be on the beach in a second or something.
No, I was gonna change the background to something else, but anyway, never mind. That's not what we're here for. We're not here for me. I am merely but a conduit through which all knowledge flows. We're here for you guys and to find out more about you. So Brandon, how did you guys meet? Like, how long have you known each other?
Yeah, it was directed to me, so I'll answer it, I guess. So we've known each other for about 2.5 years now. We actually met through a Power MBA online business course. We both are business owners ourselves from a much different background, and we're looking for opportunities to sort of see different ways to expand our own businesses, look for new blue ocean strategies in this type of scenarios. And we got hooked up through that, and because of that, we decided to start trying to pursue a business here together. And I think we locked in on something kind of special. So yeah, we're excited to talk about Quibbit and give you guys the lowdown.
Actually, Brandon, like where we met was the first networking event. Like, I think it was like meet your class of the first class of Power MBA.
Yeah.
I was new to Calgary, class. And you were in Calgary too. And I'm like, oh, well, let's see.
Yeah. And obviously she just fell in love with my beard. So then it was easy.
Yeah. There's it's very difficult for ladies to resist a beard, especially one as well maintained as yours.
I think it's the exact opposite. It generally drives them running away, but
No. Maybe you're in the wrong country, like, because over here, you know, they like a beard, they love a good beard. But I mean, we've got that like weird mix of Germanic blood, you know, and like woodsman's, you know, the sort of ancient history of people invading this island, mostly Vikings and Germans, people with beards. So yeah, the sight of a beard, it makes the women's blood pump, like when they see
Great.
I'm gonna refuse to comment, agree or disagree. I'm just gonna go quiet for a minute.
it gets the heart I gotta tell you, you're getting my heart going, like, seriously.
Thanks, man.
Oh my goodness, Brandon, like you should literally, like, you should show the video. That's what you should show.
Do you have
You'll
a video,
fall in love with you.
do you have a special video to do with your beard?
No, just wait for the TikToks that are coming from our company.
Okay.
There's been a number of very embarrassing videos that have been
embarrassing. Come on.
They're pretty fantastic. We actually have we had an agreement. This is getting off topic, but we had an agreement with a college for some students to come and do some videos and try to bring in some new blood and ideas. And yeah, one of the creators there has been pretty awesome, but he's big into TikTok and the newest trends on TikTok. So we're getting a TikTok channel going. There's a lot of videos coming out soon there. They're pretty funny.
What are the sort of the latest trends on TikTok right now? Because I had to honestly, I had to delete it because I was spending a lot of time on it in sort of summer 2020. I watched my summer just fade away as I just kept scrolling through TikTok and did some gardening. I thought I have to
addictive media.
Yeah. I was like, I have to get rid of this. I have to. So I haven't gone back on it since.
You should though. Like, oh my goodness, some of the videos are so funny.
Yeah.
So what kind of trends are there? What's going on there right now?
I think a few of the ones that we're looking at are some of the very quick snap imagery. So you have like somebody like dancing to be a fool is a big one, right? To a certain type of song that gets trending. So we've got a couple of things like that. There's also some choose your own character or quick flashing ones. So people saying Quibbit wherever they are, and just flashing to a beat and these types of things. But it's mainly, you know, it's content for fun that's easy to absorb. We're not trying to get on there and describe, you know, in detail the business model of what we're doing here. We're trying to get people to be excited about what we think is a really neat app, and just garner some interest. So we've shied away from that, you know, stereotypical person staring at a camera and being like, we do oil services and we do them in these places, right? It's more like, here's a guy that's going to do an oil service, but in actuality, he's got a smoke machine and some heavy music and he's bouncing around and dancing. And people are like, why is he doing that? Please stop. Like, that's kind of more of the angle we've been going with. But you gotta follow and like and check out the videos.
Definitely.
Can't give you all the secrets.
You heard it here first, guys. You got to follow and like Quibbit.
Yeah.
You got to go on check out Quibbit on TikTok. Yes, it's like a little frog in a queue.
Yeah, it sounds like Ribbit, but it's Quibbit.
I got it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, man. I am slow. Yeah, Quibbit. That's cool. I got it now. I like it. So yeah, one of my favorite TikTokers is Dinosaur Dad or Dino Dad. Like, you know, the guy
that dad?
No, it's like there's this guy, he's married and he has two daughters who are like teenagers, and if they mention the word dinosaur, then he like instantly turns into like a velociraptor. It doesn't matter where he is. He could be at a bar mitzvah, he could be like at a christening, he could be at the prom. I think he did it. He turns into a dinosaur and he gets up like a velociraptor on the table and he goes crazy. Have you never seen that guy?
That's amazing.
He is awesome.
Like an episode from Bluey.
It's so cool. You have to.
You love Bluey.
You have to try and.
Well, my kids love Bluey. Yeah, I can't say that I tune in and watch Bluey, but my children.
Bluey is Australian.
Oh, I don't know that one. I have two daughters and they're pretty young, and I've got Penelope. She's like 2.5, and Annie is like coming up on 1 year old, so pretty young.
Oh.
And Yeah, it's like cocoa melon all day long. Cocoa melon.
Oh,
Cocoa melon, cocoa
yeah, they're
melon.
at that age.
Yeah,
Or
I
Mother
remember
Goose,
that stage
yeah, or Mother Goose Club,
all the time.
or Blippy.
Oh my goodness, no Blippi anymore. No,
No,
I can't take it.
we went through a really big Wiggles phase about a year
Those are
ago.
all right.
Australian again.
Peppa
Yeah,
Pig's like a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Peppa I had to get away from.
yeah. Peppa Pig is like big in the house right now.
Yeah.
What else is big? Oh, actually, not too bad. Spidey and His Amazing Friends on Disney Plus, like the little like the cute one.
Yeah, the
Have you
cute.
seen that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
original one from like the late 70s, early 80s. Not that one. That's the one that I used to watch when I was a kid. That's kind of like, more like X-Men 97 or 97, 95, whatever it is. Like, the X-Men series from the 90s. It's kind of like that. Yeah. So, yeah, Spidey and His Amazing Friends. So, we've got a set of questions to go through. We do have a format. It's not totally random. So I think it might be important for the viewers, people watching this, or people who want to get to know about you as the founders of Quibbit, more about you guys, what your story is. So we can start with the lovely Iida. Where did you grow up, and did that affect who you are, like who you became, who you are today?
Yeah, to start with, like, my name is actually Iida, so
Yes,
it's
that's
a
what I
Finnish
said.
name.
That's what I said.
That's all right. So I grew up in Finland, so I'm European. But during my childhood, teenage years and stuff, I did a lot of like high school, and actually like already from when I was 12 years old, I did exchanges in different countries. So I would go to school in like Malta, I would go to school in the States, I would go to school in Australia, and then I would just go back to Finland every now and then.
I'm not getting any Finnish vibes from you whatsoever. I've met people from Finland, and they are not like you at all.
Like, I'm blonde.
No. Well, yeah, okay, blonde, but like you could be from Norway. But Finnish people, like the way you described yourself as being serious, they are serious, and
I'm serious.
They are quiet. They don't say anything that doesn't have to be said. They don't believe in small talk. They literally just, how are you today?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me? No, it's like, yeah.
I think the problem there is like when I was 17, I went to Australia for a year. Then I went back to Finland for a little bit. I think I was there for like a year. And then I went backpacking all over the world. So like I went all the way through like Europe, and then Middle East, Asia, the Pacific, and ended up back in Australia. Went to uni in Australia. I stayed there for 8 years and then moved to Canada. So like I can't say that I'm fully just Finnish anymore. I even have the Australian citizenship, right? So, I have the global view, right?
Yeah, sorry, go on, Brandon.
No, I was just gonna say, unlike Iida, I think the first time I was on a plane, I was 17. So a little bit more of a homebody, I guess.
So have you been around? Have you left Calgary much, or?
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm from Ontario, so further east, small town, very close to a larger town, I suppose you could say. I don't know what the viewership of this is, so I'm not going to name random cities in Ontario, but not Toronto.
No, you should do it, because actually you're about the 5th Canadian I've had on.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, so I grew up about 45 minutes outside of London, Ontario, which is about, for most people, 3 hours from Toronto. Like, everything's just Toronto and Ontario. You either live there or somewhere near Ottawa. But anyway, but yeah, most of my upbringing was kind of that small town vibe. My dad worked as a factory worker, but kind of an entrepreneur, did lots of small jobs in and around the area. So, build decks, build fences, build these types of things. Kind of worked with him on that side of it, and maybe that's kind of where I got some of that prefer to work on my own experience. My background, though, I'm actually a biologist by background, and I do toxicology as one of my companies, but that's a very niche group, a very consulting kind of a thing, and I was always looking for a way to sort of expand that out. And it was a good experience. I got to work in the Canadian Arctic. I've worked in almost every province in this country, which Canada's pretty big. So despite not being a globetrotter like Iida, I've gone from Southern Ontario, which at the tip is actually parallel to Northern California, all the way up to the high Arctic in the Arctic Circle, and then west to East Coast. So, there's lots of areas in Canada that people don't realize. There's a northern tropical area in the west coast of BC and some other places. So, I've had my chance to experience the diversity of the landscape in Canada, which has been great. I've been to Europe. I went there. That's actually where I engaged my wife. So I've gone around a little bit.
Is your wife also from Canada?
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Now she's actually from near Toronto. So there's a stereotype, but I got 2 kids as well, and settled here in Calgary. This is kind of the oil and gas place for this country. So here in Calgary, doing a lot of that work.
Are you going to share any of that with your southern brothers and sisters? Because they kind of need a bit of oil and gas right now, from what I've heard.
Yeah, if we want to get political, maybe we can stop canceling pipelines and start having fuel flowing in the right places from countries that create it ethically and environmentally sound, and not from other less well, anyway, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, no, you don't have to leave it. You can say whatever you want. That's the benefit of not living in China. You can say whatever you want. Anyway, just do what's right. Like, don't make people struggle. That's it. Anyway, we'll come back to that. So Iida, the reason you've traveled so much, is that because like the people in those countries didn't want you and they kept kicking you out, or like what's the crack?
Fair question.
Yeah, actually, like
are you a bit of a
gypsy? Kicked her out of Canada yet, so we're very welcome.
I'm like, I could go back. Like, I'm thinking here, like, what should I say? I could go back to, like, my mom has worked in about 45 countries. Wow. And she used to like take me with her. So like, for example,
so
one time we flew to China for a day because she had a work conference. So I guess like I learned it from there.
What work did your mum do?
She's an entrepreneur.
Okay.
She is in healthcare IT consulting.
Okay. Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So she's been around the world. Maybe we should get her on as well and talk to her.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I was talking about this with her today, and she was like, my podcast is so serious.
You gotta break that. You gotta make it a little more exciting.
Yeah. So then you eventually, after years of exploring the world for you, years of exploring Canada for you, Brandon, you both had that same sort of mindset of like business entrepreneurship. You thought, I'm gonna join the Power MBA, which is actually where I met you, wasn't it, Iida?
Sure.
Last Monday or something, like the 7th.
Yeah.
The 7th at 7. At the Power Brain Labs. So we were doing like a blue ocean thing there, and that's where I met you. And so you also very kindly volunteered to be the subject of that next discussion on the 7th of April. So hopefully you're still down for that.
No, we're like so excited. Like that's like when you share your idea and stuff, you get so much feedback. Like you can use all that feedback to make it better. Yeah. You know what I mean? You get all these different points of view. If you just keep it to yourself, like that's the worst thing that you can do.
I think it was really cool. Like there was an American guy on there, wasn't there? I think he was American.
Yeah, from San Francisco.
He was amazing. Was he called John or Joe or Jove or something like that? Yeah, Joe. Wow, he was like he almost took over like the whole thing, which was brilliant because because it was our first time doing that sort of event. And so Patrick and I, we weren't sure how it would go. And then that guy came, and then you were there, like you were really enthusiastic, and other people were bouncing ideas off each other. So yeah, phenomenal. It was awesome.
And I think it will really take off, like once people start getting more comfortable throwing ideas and stuff when they keep coming back.
Yeah. So when Iida, when did you know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Did you just get that from your mother? Or
I'm about fourth generation entrepreneur.
Whoa.
So, so I think it was already in my blood.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when I was born, I was going to be an entrepreneur.
And
My family also like pushed me in that direction, and like me and my brother and my sister, we actually have an investment company as well. So like I've been around in that like startup mindset pretty much my whole life.
I have a question now. Like,
Yeah.
how old are you? Like, you look about 15 years old. Are you a vampire? Like,
She's
what's
actually
going on?
73. She's
Whoa.
past retirement. She just looks fantastic.
I'm a mother
Jeez.
of two as well, right? I have a
Whoa.
4-year-old and a 2.5-year-old.
How are you
But
doing this? How?
But I'm 27, almost 28. Next week is my birthday. No, not next week. 2 weeks.
Right. So when I talk to people like that I work with, because I'm a college lecturer, right? So when I talk to so when I teach computer science and ICT, like FE and HE levels. So when I do that, people always ask me, where do you find the time to do the things that you do? And I'm like, well, I don't really, I don't do that much. Like, I do this podcast, I do Power MBA, a couple of other things, but like, how do both of you guys find the time to manage your businesses, your family, and family and friends, and your own life? I mean, you both look great. You both look young and happy, and like you've got energy. You've both got kids. Like, how are we doing it? Like, what's the secret? Is it Red Bull? Is it coffee? Or
no?
Brandon,
I mean,
answer first.
yeah, I'm happy to answer first. Sorry. So a couple points, because I think it's important, because it's a stark difference. So you asked about the entrepreneur thing, right? Like for me, and it'll feed in, it'll make sense.
Yeah.
For me, it was very different. I was, my parents, like, small town. It was like, go to school, you'll get a job, work at that one job for the rest of your life. They'll treat you well. Hopefully it has a pension, retire at 65, and then take over the
die
farm. And then die, right?
then die and leave your house and wares to the next generation. Do the
next
right
generation
thing,
will take it. They will do the
Yeah.
same thing we've always done, and this is a good way. And it is, like, I mean, that's a path that has less stress in many ways, right? But what transferred it for me is I was building teams at that stage in some of the companies I had worked with prior, and trying to innovate and create ways in structured businesses. And I would oftentimes run into a head, right? Like, the business has its goals, and it's appropriate to have its own goals. And I would be thinking about ways that I wanted to change the path, or ways that we could create efficiencies. And it's difficult in a structured business where you're not in a position to make those calls, right? So eventually it drove me away from it. But when that happened, that transition that I had, it actually creates an avenue for you to have more time to do a lot of stuff. So people, I get this all the time. You're running all these different things, like yourself. I don't have a podcast, but they'll say, you're running a not-for-profit, and you're on an executive here, and you're doing these things. And it sounds like you're doing a ton. But the difference is, I don't have to clock in at 8 and clock out at 5 on the one job that I'm working on, right? Like, I can bounce my hours through my day depending on where my attention's needed and required. And that gives you a whole different way of structuring your day-to-day. And it's the same with the kids. And I'm blessed. I have a fantastic wife who takes a lot of the responsibility, from me. So if I got to jump to go to a meeting between 6 and 8 at night, I mean, that puts pressure on her to watch the kids, right? But we have that relationship. So, I've got a good support network that way. And then because I have businesses that allow me to bounce in and out, and employees that are, accustomed to catching me on a text message or a phone call, not seeing me face to face, like in the office every day, it's actually a lot easier than it sounds.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I have a similar sort of setup with my wife. She takes, without her, I'd be screwed. Like, honestly, she does everything, really. All I do, I go to work and then I do this sort of stuff, or I go study, but she does everything else. So yeah, props to the women. It was recently International Women's Day, which I think was named after you, right? Because you're an international woman, Iida.
Yeah, totally. And now for me, it's like, well, I'm actually a single mom, so it's a bit different. But for me, like balancing it all, it's just so much easier to be an entrepreneur where I can put my own hours. And just like Brendan says, I can work in the morning, I can work when the kids are sleeping, then I can drive them to school.
Yeah.
And then I can come back and I can work while they're at school and then go pick them up, take them to their hobbies. Then I can come back. And you know what, I can again work when they're sleeping or whatever works. So like, yeah, I don't know how I would even make it work if I was like working in a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Like, how would I be able to be so dedicated to my kids?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to.
That's something that like that's something that plays on my mind a lot recently, like especially over the past sort of 3 to 6 months. Even like where I work, like the college where I work is not very far from my house. Like it's literally about 500 steps like from my house. So I basically I almost live on campus, so it's no commute for me to go to work and to come back during dinner. But even so, like I keep thinking I need a remote job and something with a bit more flexibility, because I'm missing these girls grow up. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
And obviously it's going to be different when they go to school, because then they're busy building their future too. But for right now, I'm feeling like even I'm missing out a little bit, and it does kind of suck like sometimes when I'm at work. But I'm so busy sometimes that I don't even notice like that. I'm giving all of my time and effort to somebody else's kids. Like that's the bad thing.
And you know what? It's all about the quality time though. So as long as you can give that quality time when you're there, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Being in the moment. And I think that's one that's hard. Like there's a difference between spending time and quality time. Like I've been bad at it, but I'm trying to get better. I'll try to leave my phone if I go to the park with the kids, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be there interacting and look around, and all the other parents are in the park looking at their phone.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you're spending time with your kids, but you're not actually. You're not engaged.
You're still missing out. You're there, but you're missing out.
Guys, that's the perfect opportunity to just take one or two that you think look okay. Like just round them up with your kids and just take a couple more kids home.
Collect children.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Like their Pokemon.
Like
their parents. Yeah, their parents
Like
won't even notice.
There was a company that was actually, you could hire them, and these were like previous, they had been police officers or whatever. And if you're a spouse and you're upset with your spouse not spending time with your child or being like absent-minded, they would actually go to a park like that and then like move your child to a safe area with the other parent, like off site, and then wait and time how long it took that parent to realize their kid was missing, and then show back up with the spouse and say, here's all the things that could have happened in the time that you weren't paying attention. And that was like the hard training that you could pay for. Anyway, I think it stopped because it was creating such an enormous backlash of the spouse who got caught doing that, right? But it's a real thing. Like, people are so mixed up into their business, like their business life, their social life. Everything gets run by a cell phone. I saw a really funny quip. It was like, in the 90s and early 2000s, the internet was something you like went to escape, like, your reality. Now, like your reality and going outside, you go there to escape the internet. It's like a total switch. And that's, and to kind of try to bring it back into Quibbit. I think that's one of the things we're trying to do with Quibbit. Like we're trying to create these efficiencies. So those tasks that are nagging that you always have in your life, like vehicle maintenance, right? I mean, that's a task that is necessary, but most people aren't super excited to go get an oil change. They're not super excited to remember to get their tires changed, right? So if we can make that easier for people, then now we can bring you back. And now you can have that quality time when that time that you have in our society is like shrinking all the time. Like you can almost not get away from work now, to be realistic.
Yeah. So tell us then, either Iida or Brandon or both, we've touched a little bit on the name, and you've mentioned like it kind of might maybe reminds people or like improves inefficiencies, makes people more efficient. what is Quibbit? Like, how would you describe it? What does it do? And where do we get it? How do I find it? Like, it sounds like something that I need in my life.
Yeah, so Quibbit connects mobile automotive service providers with customers through an app without the need for phone calls or booking forms. So we do things like tire changes, oil changes, chip glass, and a lot of other things, like right on your driveway or at your workplace or wherever you are at that moment when you need it done, right?
Yeah, if you're at the mall, right, and your car's parked and you got a couple hours in the mall, why not have it serviced while you're doing something else? And you go back and your car's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. Like, instead of one of the biggest sort of pains as a car owner, like especially over here, is sometimes your car is like that extra member of the family, and you have to take a day off just to go and take it to a garage.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not with Quibbit. Okay.
Not with
people?
Quibbit.
Yeah.
So eliminate a member of your family.
Yeah. No, make
that was bad.
no, make a member
Well,
of
an
your
unwanted
family
member,
less
not
of
like
a
a
burden.
Member.
You're making it less of a burden. That's what you're doing. You're making your cumbersome member of a family who's high maintenance. Basically, she's a high maintenance vehicle, high maintenance lady. You're helping her to be low maintenance. You're making it easy. You're upgrading for a nicer kind of relationship with your vehicle,
So, like,
by using Quibbit.
Only enjoy the quality time with the car, right?
Yeah. So it's not a chore. You don't have to book holiday off from your job to take it to go get serviced. Like,
Yeah, exactly that. And one of the things that I'm using obviously the app. I think one of the coolest things about it is the ability to book multiple services. So now you're not having to go garage to garage, because one garage is your oil change guy, and I typically get my car detailing. If you're somebody that gets your car detailed somewhere else, you can just line them all up on the Friday while you're working, and now Saturday morning when you want to go for a rip, it's already had everything you'd ever want done to it completed, and the car never had to leave your driveway, right? So it's that efficient.
I'm going to download it right now. That's how excited I am.
That's great.
Okay, so when I did a search for Quibbit, there's two that came up, right? So there's Quibbit service provider and then just Quibbit. So which one do I go for?
You go for Quibbit. So we're a platform, right? So we're connecting these two different things. So we're connecting the customers. Yes, exactly.
There you go.
Customers and the service providers. So the service providers would have the service provider app, so they can accept your job.
And is this international? Like, is this something that I can use here? Because like you guys are all the way over there, but can I use this here in the UK?
Soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's okay. I have friends in Canada. I know this crazy guy called Charlie Simpson, and he's always working on his car. So I'm going to tell him about this. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So to answer your question, we've tested it. It works internationally. Where we're at right now is it's a two-sided market. So we need to find service providers that live near you.
It's actually
that are mobile.
It's beautiful, by the way. Hopefully it focuses. There we go. This is the beginning page.
Yeah, it's quite a simple app. And I should mention the next iteration of this app is coming out in a couple of weeks. And the main update on that has mostly been for the service provider side. So integrated calendar bookings and these types of things to really help our service providers do better. But it's as simple as opening an app. You can either book, I need a service today, or I want to book it sometime in the future. All the pricing is everything in up front. You see exactly what you're going to pay. You know what it's going to be. Somebody's not going to show up and say, oh, that's our base fare pricing. But in actuality, I'm going to tag on, $50 worth of random things that you didn't realize you were paying for, right? Like, our stuff is all upfront. Everybody sees what it is. It's super clear. It's cashless payment systems. You know what you're getting. Person comes, does that service, and you're left happy. Like, that's basically how the whole thing works.
It sounds like a disruptive system. Are you being disruptive to a traditional sort of way of doing things? I think the answer is yes, and I think it's for the best. So I'm just
Yeah, I mean, 100%. We want to disrupt
the little man doing his thing there. But
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it'll work for me in the UK, but it definitely. So where else does it work? Does it work only in Canada right now, or is it where else is it available?
I don't know if Ida wants to take this, but right now we're geofenced to a specific location in Alberta, and what we're doing with that is going through all the processes involved with launching an app like this. So we need the full system functionality of how does a service provider connect. We're running scenarios like, what if that service provider is working on this car and it's just taking a lot longer and they're going to be late for the next booking. So now we have automated notifications to the next booking to say, hey, your service provider is running a little late. Do you want to wait for that provider, or do you want to research and see if there's a different provider that offers the same service, but they're going to come, at a different time? And we're creating a lot of those efficiencies. So, there's way more than I ever thought to building an app like this that appears really simple, like just click, connect, done. But it's not. Behind the scenes, there's a ton of stuff going on all the time. So we're constantly refining and making that better. And I think the next version that comes out is going to be pretty ideal. And then that's when we're going to start really hammering the marketing, I'll say globally, because that's where we want to get.
Yeah, so we're focusing on Alberta right now, and we're going to be growing over to Ontario and BC very soon, and then work on all of Canada, and then elsewhere, right?
So one of the most beautiful things about this this product and this app is that it is completely scalable as well. So you guys have really put into practice everything from your Power MBA.
Yeah, and actually, like if you look at our team, for example, like our team is so international. We have people working over in Germany, and like I'm Australian and Finnish, and our other co-founder is French. So everywhere, really.
So with the service providers, how did they how does it work? Like, say I'm a guy and I've got a skill, I can I can provide a service, I can fix somebody's car or do like an MOT or whatever. Do you have MOTs in Canada? Do you have what's called an MOT, like an annual health check for your vehicle? Do you have to do that?
Sort of, I'll say. So like if you want to go to sell your car, you generally, or if you're bringing your car over provincial lines, there is a process that you have to have your it's an inspection. But there's not necessarily like a yearly inspection requirement.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, so yeah. So here in the UK, if you have a brand new vehicle, after that vehicle is 3 years old, every single year, at the exact same time, you have to take it to a service provider, to a mechanics, to do what's called an MOT test. And basically they test all of the components on there. It's like a safety check. They check the brakes, steering, oil, all that sort. I'm not sure exactly what they check, but they check loads of different things, and they like windscreen wipers as well. And if anything's wrong with the MOT check, then you have the option to replace it there and then, or you can take it somewhere else. But if you don't have a valid MOT, then you can't insure your car, and you can't, you have to have MOT, road tax, and insurance to drive it. Otherwise you can't. It's illegal.
Yeah, that's very similar to Australia. Okay. But it makes sense for it to be similar, right?
Yeah. They copied us, didn't they? So
yeah. But yeah, we have like very quick growth plans. So we're like going to go over to the States and then to Australia and Europe at the same time. But obviously it needs like we need to find like the right, like the product needs to be very good for us to grow that quickly. So we're just working on refining the product right now, and then go.
Yeah. So
get
back to what I was going to say was, like, if I'm a service provider, how do I use your service to connect with people who need my help?
Yeah, so it's super quick. You can be effectively on booking jobs in probably 15 minutes. So you would come on, you would download the Quibbit service app. First step it's going to ask you is, what's your business, and do you have proof of being able to do that business? So there is a requirement for you to provide insurance papers, proof of a business license, this type of thing. Behind the scenes, we'll get a notification that says somebody's coming onto the app. We'll do our due diligence check, make sure you are who you say you are. Because the worst thing to happen is somebody comes on who has no business license, doesn't have a driver's license, and it shows up and is like, I can change your oil, and the person's like, you're using vegetable oil, who are you? So we have a check, make sure you're a real legit company, you actually can service vehicles, you're insured to do that, right? Take that onus off of the person that's using the app on the other side, the user. But that check's very quick. It's quick as us validating that you are who you say you are. We'll then acknowledge that you're capable to do the service that you've requested, and when you do it, it says here's the services that can be booked through Quibbit. So if you're a guy that only does one service, you can do one, but if you offer a bunch, you can select more than one. And then you're live. It's that fast, and it's geo-referenced. So, its connections are going to be people in your area. So you're not driving and crisscrossing the city. It's going to preferentially select people near you, and your booking calendar will start booking up, and you just say, yep, I'm available Thursday. And that's one of the really cool things about the newest version. If you're a guy or girl that's building this company, but it's a side job company and you only work weekends, the calendar booking, you can block out Monday to Friday because you're only available Saturday and Sunday. So you'll only get bookings Saturdays and Sundays, and the calendar will build up your booking project. And then you connect with the user. When you do a connection in app, it actually zooms into your driving map. So then it'll take you literally to them. Very similar to like an Uber Eats or like a taxi service company, and they'll see you. It's a little frog. It'll come along and say, hey, he's here. Which is great because some of the things that are really annoying about these services apps, or even just services in general, it's like, yeah, I'll be there between 8 a.m. and 3, right? Like that's the worst. So we've eliminated that entirely.
Like here, sometimes if you're waiting for a delivery, they send you a message. Yeah, we'll be there between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. And you literally waste your whole day staying in for a package.
You lose all the value of that then. You have it come to your house, but you lost the whole day. So you could have gone and picked it up.
So will your system have will it have like a review or a rating system for the people to offering the service? And
100%.
Will it have like reviews for customers? What if somebody's like an awkward customer? Oh my god, perish the thought.
I know, 100%. We have a 5-star rating, and it helps us to ensure that the providers on the app are quality providers. If they have consistent low ratings, we find out why. Hopefully we can correct the behavior, but if it's poor, they won't be a service provider with us for very long. And like you said, users, if they're an abusive user to the first person, we also don't want our service providers feeling threatened going over.
That was people, right? I thought of that question. Like if you're a service provider, obviously you're a mechanic or something, you have valuable tools. You don't want to be booked by somebody who's literally just going to mug you and take all your equipment. So is there sort of a validation check for the people taking the service? Is that something that maybe that's a new idea?
Yeah, I mean, the validation check on our side would be email and cell number. So, if somebody wanted to be disingenuous and try to use like a burner phone to set up something, I mean, I guess you could do that, but keep in mind, when the app is on, we're geo-referencing your location. So, it would be a whole process for you to try to cheat that system, so we don't know where you are and who you are and why you did what you did. And that's not to say like we're Big Brother. I just mean, if you're using the app and you're hiring somebody to show up at your location and then you plan to mug that person, that would be a very poor decision because we know exactly where you are at that time. But that aside, and something to add to it though, which was really an interesting segue, is we actually have on the app a button. It's a shield, and if you feel threatened, you can put your thumb on it and it'll connect to, on your phone, you can have a next of kin, or if you're a provider and your boss or somebody is working, you hold it there and it'll connect to them, or you can swipe and it'll connect to your local 911 or emergency outfit. So in your scenario, if that ever happened in the app, you could have a live feed that, something bad's happening and silently somebody's going to get dispatched to your location. And we never actually thought of it from the perspective of a user trying to rob a service provider. Where we actually came from, it was more of a safety thing, because a lot of these people work alone. So if you can imagine, you're not in a shop, you're not around people you work with, you're in a garage, in a parking lot or whatever. Say for whatever reason, you got pinned under a vehicle, right? Like something bad happened and there's nobody around. We wanted a really quick way that somebody could just put their thumb on something and have emergency support to them in an instant.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so there you go, dual purpose. Yeah, problem solved. That's awesome. So yeah, we've got a few more questions. Like, are you guys we've lost Brandon. Are you guys good for time?
I'm running out of power. One sec.
What's going on, bro? So I'm gonna ask Iida. Iida, I'm thinking about some of the things that you've been through that's brought you to this point here now, working on this collaborative adventure. What challenge in your life has shaped who you are the most?
Yeah, so this is actually quite personal. So almost 4 years ago, Friday the 13th, of course, I had the police at my door at about 7 a.m. I had a little baby. And I was like, okay, well, I'm sorry the baby has been crying all night. I'm sure you can relate. I'm like, I'll make sure that she won't cry next night. Like, I don't know why you're here. And they were like asking to come in and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, like what's going on. So they come in and they make me call the hospital. I call the hospital. My partner at the time, he was on a work trip in a different city and stuff, and turned out he was in a coma over in the other city. Neither of us are Australian either, so we were like without a real like support network or anything. He had an accident. He fell backwards and he had a brain injury, very serious one. So that has definitely shaped my future. Being a single mom since then, he is not really able to take care of the kids much, but thankfully he's around.
Yeah, and so he's so did he move to Calgary with you? Like, he's like close by, he can help out a little bit, or have contact with them?
Yes, so he's able to like be a dad to them, hang out with them for a little bit every now and then, and to get to know them, which is great.
That's that's really sad, because like that, that's life not going as planned. Like, you had this setup, you had this life, and then just something insane happened where you had this accident, and then your life goes a completely different way. I can imagine that that's really hard to.
And like, even over there, like when that happened, you could see that things happen in an instant. So you have to live your life to the fullest every single day. You can't take things for granted. You have to go for things, so that really shaped my thinking as well, when going into this venture and stuff. Like, you just have to make it work.
That's really odd, actually, because Aaron Montgomery from the Power MBA, from Carlots, right? So I've had Aaron on the podcast twice before. And the last time he was on, he told me of a few years ago, I think it's 2015 or something like that, or maybe before that, in Hawaii, they had that nuclear strike scare. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Where the alarms went off all across all the different islands. They literally thought they had minutes to survive, that there was nuclear weapons coming from North Korea. And it was at that moment, like, Aaron was on the phone to his children and his mother. He was on like a holiday with his wife after working, for a long time. And it was him and his wife. Everybody around was panicking, and they managed to find some sort of like solace. And they were together. They said their goodbyes, and they were waiting for that to happen, and then it didn't. And just because it didn't happen, it still left a mark on him that made him think, right, life could end at any minute. And he said that is one of the key motivating factors that makes him who he is today. Yeah,
and it gives you like so much resilience as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's a funny thing that tragedy seems to shape most people's conversions, right? Like, you often have people that enter your life and tell you great stories, but you meet that almost with maybe jealousy is a term that could be used. Like, you're not often motivated in the same way that you are motivated by personal tragedy, which is an unfortunate and quite a sad outcome and outlook of that. But I think it plays true, you know. And I had the opportunity to chat with Aaron one-on-one, and you know, he's such a positive force of a person, and he's a genuine person, I think.
I love that guy, honestly.
Yeah.
Massive man crush on him.
yeah those big biceps.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you've been working out again? He's like, well, you know, I ain't got nothing much else to do around here, you know. So
he's like a linebacker. He's a big guy.
Yeah, I can only imagine like how tall he must be, like in person. Like he's one thing to see somebody on a little screen, but then to meet somebody in person, to me, he's a giant, like wherever he is. Yeah. So Brandon, have you like, you know, hopefully nothing too serious like Iida like that, but have you got challenges that have shaped you, that brought you to this point in your life?
Yeah, I think my biggest challenges have actually been my children.
Yeah.
It's so very different.
My son was premature. He was in a NICU for quite a while before he came out of that. And you know, I think it was that same thing. It kind of, at that time, my profession was a lot of like I said, I'm a biologist by trade, but I work with the oil and gas companies. So I did a lot of site visits. I would be out of the province or remote in the province, you know, 3 weeks out, 1 week home, 3 weeks out, 1 week home. And that's a very quick way to disconnect with a new baby in the house if you're only there a week out of a month. So, you know, I started trying to think of ways to change that dynamic a little bit, right? And then we started my first company actually at the birth of my son. It happened, you know, literally because of that. And then our daughter came along, and she had cleft lip and cleft palate. So then there was a whole series of, you know, new adventures in that, again, with a necessity to be home more, to care. And then all the surgeries and things that come from that.
Yeah, that's something I've got a small personal experience of myself, not with my two daughters now, but a long time ago, about 2003 or 4, I used to go out with a girl, and she had a young baby who had a cleft lip and a cleft palate, and so I was there for some of that, and like holding the little baby's hand, you know, just after an operation and stuff like that, is just, it's a lot to deal with.
It's a lot, and it's certainly a lot for you know, anyone to try to do alone. So, you know, hats off to Iida for everything she's done there. But that was a big thing. Like, I needed to be there obviously to support my child, but then it was also, you need to be there to support your spouse. And being out of the province, you know, it was almost an easy escape for me. Oh, I have to be at work, so then I can remove myself from that, because parenting's 24 hours, right? Like, work has a shut off. And yeah, that definitely shaped a lot of the stuff I do now. Just be able to be home. I mean, we're shooting this from my house because I work from home. So and I think too, like, COVID has really provided people an avenue to see what a work from home life balance can look like, even if you are in a job that is a 9 to 5 40-hour work week. Because of COVID, a lot of people started working from home, and now they're being told you got to come back to the office, and they're like, I might actually switch careers or look somewhere there's a bit of a balance, because I don't want to be in the office. I got used to this. I like being home.
And like the other thing is that, like, if you've done the job from home for almost 2 years, why are you making me go back to a place where I need to commute and, you know, spend more money and get up earlier and make arrangements? Like, why? Like, I've done my job great from home. Why are you pulling me? It just doesn't make sense. I think it's very stupid.
I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit the opposite. Like, I like being around people.
Yeah, you don't want us to buy it.
You're all right.
I keep talking about co-working spaces, and you know.
So do you have an office that you work from, Iida, or do you work from home? Or you work from home as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
work from home here in Calgary or somewhere else, like in a week, I'll be working from Mexico. And yeah.
So, Iida, like you, are you like you say you're a single mom, but you must have some love in your life, some romance or something like going on.
No time.
Jeez, woman,
Quibbit my romance.
Come on, don't.
Yeah, she loves the frog. She loves the Quibbit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, loving the frog is great, but you don't want to waste this, like your youth, your beauty, like you got to share that with people.
That's all right. One day. Right now, Quibbit, the kids, everything, and you know what? I have time. I'm young.
You do. So, who do you talk to when you feel stuck, like on a project, like when you feel stuck in life, or you feel stuck with Quibbit, or any sort of one of your entrepreneurial endeavors? What do you do? How do you solve that problem?
I talked to my dad. He was in private equity, and now he's an entrepreneur. He was a CEO of a big global company for a long time. So I don't know. He's like this one like calm voice. Like he's never yelled that I've heard. He's just a calm voice and wise voice that he can just solve any problem that I have. Another person is Brandon. Like I don't know. Like our company seems like it's like this big family.
Yeah.
Like we have the same values, and I don't know. So any problem that I have, I can just call Brandon and see like how are we gonna solve this.
That's really cool.
Even when you talk about like you talked about International Women's Day, that was recently, and I was just thinking that being a woman CEO, I've gone through so much of that. Like you're young, you're a woman. Like, can you really do this? And like when I tell those stories to Brandon is like, his comments are always, I hope that we can change that for the next generation.
Yeah, I hate that stigma. And I think probably it comes more from when I had a daughter. But like, Iida went to a luncheon, and one of the things they said is, you'll do great because you're pretty. And like,
that's not what I meant, by the way. Like, I don't want you to
no. I just mean like, but these are the things, right? And where Iida and I in the group work well together is I think we have the same base moral. And there's Quibbit, which we absolutely want to be a roaring success. But then there's the people that support Quibbit, and we want each of them to have success too. And it's a played out tribe to be like, we're a family. This business is a family. Like, yeah, okay, throw a pizza party. Like that. It's a silly thing, and you gotta actually lead by example. And if you want people to think your company is actually a family, you need to care about those people on a personal level and get to know them. And we're small right now, so it's very easy for us to still do that. But as we grow, I really hope that we carry that through. But for myself, like, just to answer that same question about who do I go to, like I said, like my parents and others, from an emotional standpoint, they're very supportive, but they're not my go-to for business advice because they've never had the experience in it. So I try to surround myself with people who do things better than me, right? Like if you're the dumbest person in the room, that's the best place to be.
I always feel like that though.
Yeah, but that's good. Because then everyone else is talking about things that you can learn from.
No, but that's like, I mean, no, I know what you mean. Like it is like that is good to be always learning, always in a position where you're around people who you can look up to as mentors, or put somebody 100%. Who's got a different or better a different experience that you've got, and you can learn from that. But I guess it's like maybe I'm dealing with my own insecurities to always feel like the dumbest person in the room. I always feel like I'm wearing a mask, or like I have that imposter syndrome real hard, like definitely a lot of the time.
An easy way that I found it.
That's where you have to change your mindset, right? Like you will succeed when other people succeed. So like why would you hire people that are worse than you, that you have to carry forward? Why don't you just bring those people on board who are going to get us over there, right?
Yeah.
And then you're the cheerleader. Like my dad is my biggest cheerleader, the biggest, right?
I think too,
and that's
like
what I do for people too.
Yeah, and a big thing too, when I say I'm the dumbest person in the room, you're the dumbest person in the room on the topic that's being discussed, right?
Yeah.
So like I enter, I'll go to meetings, oftentimes with people who are fantastically diverse in their knowledge base, especially in things that I don't fully understand. But I know what I know, and I'm good at what I do. So if you're ever in a feeling like that, and I think this works well with icebreakers and going into meetings that maybe you're feeling like you shouldn't be at, speak your truth. Like speak the things that you know really well. So like talk about podcasting if you love podcasting. Talk about cars if you love cars. People in that room will have similar hobbies that you can find alignment in.
Yeah.
Do not try to fake an understanding of something that someone else is an expert in, because they will sniff that out in a second.
Yeah.
But if you're genuine about something you're passionate about, most people in a room will naturally migrate to wanting to know more about it, especially if it's something they're not familiar with.
Yeah, and when you're talking about something that you love, the energy that like comes off you increases, doesn't it? Like in a very positive way.
Yeah.
And even if like the other person's not really that interested in what you're talking about, or they don't know a lot about it, they're interested in you because you're excited about that thing. Like, that is a really good
exactly. And you need all kinds of people in a team. Like the more diverse the team is, the better the ideas. So yeah,
for sure. So
we throw ideas out all the time that people are like, that idea, there's no bad idea. There's tons of bad ideas. Like, let's not kid about that, but bad ideas sometimes break through to good ones. So I think that's the thing you got to be aware of.
And you have to find a way to sort those bad and good ideas, right?
Yeah. I'm kind of known as an ideas guy, right? And the lesson that I've learned from that is so somebody told me, oh, you've had an idea. Oh, wonderful. Now what are you going to do about it? Like that's the hardest thing. Like the next bit, it's like everybody can have 10, 20, 50 ideas a month or a day or whatever, but it's actually taking that idea and turning it into reality and seeing it through until it becomes something like Quibbit. See what I did there?
And that's where you need that team, right?
Yeah.
You have to hire people who can help you in that and that, but you can't do. It's okay to understand that yourself you can't do something. That's all right.
Yeah. So
sorry.
No, go ahead.
They say it's like a village to raise a kid, right? I think it's a network to raise a company. Like if you don't have a network and you don't have a want to increase a network, and I'm not saying you have to be pre-established in one. You can create a network very organically by finding those people that want to help you.
Yeah. But
it will be almost impossible if you're going to try to raise a company with zero networking, with zero support. So.
Yeah, I mean, that echoes like exactly what I was going to get onto, which was talking about networking, and I was going to mention that over the past 12 months. The way that I've built my network has been through LinkedIn mostly, and adding people with similar interests or people who had a job or an experience or a post that interested me, and doing the podcast I've been reaching out to more and more people to ask them to come on to explain their ideas and explain their passions and their careers, like you guys have kindly come on today, and that's led to building a phenomenal network of loads of different interesting people that I never thought I would ever meet in my life. And then that led me on to taking that chance to join the Power MBA, and then from there, whoa, the past few months it's gone crazy. I've met so many different people. Like I'm so happy to have met you, Iida, and then through Iida I've met you, Brandon. Like it's just, this is, I would have to say that if I could, like tomorrow, if I won the lottery, I'd be doing this. Like I'd just be meeting people, finding out about their ideas, and I need to do this. This is what I need to do. So make sure you subscribe and like. Not that we're going anywhere, but so what networking methods work for you guys? I do
a lot of similar things as you. Like I reach reach out on LinkedIn a lot actually. But I also go to different events, like either on LinkedIn or like here in Alberta, we have like Lunch Without Lunch from Rainforest, Alberta.
A lunch without lunch. That doesn't sound good. I don't want that. If I'm going to lunch, I want food.
It's exactly this, like, you know, like
Yeah.
people are telling about their ideas, and then you have a networking session and stuff like that. Then I'm part of a lot of different business networks. So for example, her business network over in Australia, led by Susie Daphnis, who was in Lion's Den actually. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I meet people everywhere. It's all about having those meaningful conversations and going from there.
It's interesting when you're open to meet people, you'll be surprised how many people you meet. And it sounds cliche, right? But honestly, like if you're sitting, I used to work downtown Calgary in Golf Plaza. And that's kind of a hub for a lot of different businesses, a lot of different people just kind of going about what they do. But if you open yourself to actually having a chat with somebody in that coffee line rather than just sitting on your phone, which I don't think we do anymore. People actually kind of find it odd when you just spark a conversation with somebody now.
Yeah.
But if you can find people that are open to that conversation and you're open to meeting people, it's a wild ride on how many people you can meet and quickly. But yeah, you know, I echo Iida. I use LinkedIn quite a lot. You know, and it's more professional, I think. Like from Quibbit's perspective, we can meet users very efficiently through something like a Facebook interface, right? But if you want to connect with service providers or professional people, it does take a little bit of either using a LinkedIn type of network or like a direct network where they feel like they could call me at any time. Or we have a dedicated salesperson. His name's Cody. You know, so Cody reaches out, or even if he's reaching out through a means that is mass media, like email chains or things, right? It's always got like connect me direct. This is my cell number. Like it has that personal touch to it, and I think that's still an important factor.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Also, one other thing that I forgot to say is that I have like a little sticker on my laptop just saying, if you're reading this, come say hi.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a really nice idea.
Yeah, it's this startup here in Calgary, Excuses to Connect.
Yeah, there's something. I saw something similar recently at the train station near where I live. I think we went from here to Ely, which is maybe an hour away, and in between there was one of the stations that I was at. I think it was Ely. There was a bench for people to sit on, and it said this bench is for people who want to talk to each other. So you
awesome.
so you go and sit
That's
there,
cool.
and then somebody else knows that that's the bench, and then you can go and sit. Yeah. Isn't it weird that like we've kind of gotten so bad at just that basic human connection that you know, talking to one another?
Especially the younger generation like Iida.
Yeah.
You guys hate phone calls.
I hate phone calls.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I'm 40. I don't want to make a phone call. I hate it now.
Well, this is like Quibbit. Like, I don't want to go online and like look for service providers to come and change my tires, or like look for a shop to go and change my tires where I have to like call, like, when are you available? Like,
yeah,
when can I book? Like, that's just way too much work.
Yeah, we've eliminated it.
What are we afraid of? And are we making Alexander Graham Bell sad? Like the ghost of Alexander Graham Bell, like he and his comrades, they worked really, really hard to bring the phone into into reality. And now people are just like, nah, we don't want to use it.
We still need the phone though. We need the phone for the apps.
Yeah. You know, it is the basis of the technology that everything runs on, without a doubt.
Yeah, and TikTok is there.
You know what's funny though? Although our app bypasses the necessity to call a shop and talk to somebody who's then going to book, like a booking agent, right? What I find funny is it's actually more personable. And the reason's this: if I go to a shop right now with a garage, I'm going to drop my car off. Somebody's going to probably come out, jump into it, and drive it into the garage, right? They're going to take that away from me.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go deal with somebody who's an administrative person in the front, and they're going to say, yeah, your oil change, come back around 5 and it'll be done, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. I don't know who's actually working on my car.
Yeah.
With Quibbit, these service providers that come, they're generally small shop kind of automotive service providers. I think one of the biggest ones that we've connected with is like maybe 3 or 4 independent drivers under their umbrella of their company, right? but they're coming and they're doing your car, and it's personable. Like you're handing them your keys. There's a hello, you know who's doing it. They go out there, they do the job, they hand it back to you, right? And that interaction has actually led to some really cool things. So one of the examples from one of our providers was they went out to one of the guys' locations, and he was an older gentleman, and he was struggling because his winter tires were up on a rack in the garage. And they said, whoa, like, don't do that. We'll get your tires down for you. And he was like, really? And they're like, yeah, and we'll put the new ones back up. Like, don't worry about it. And you know, that was one of the personable touches that he obviously would never get, having to do that himself, which traditionally was him taking those down, putting them in the back of his truck, and then driving his truck to a garage, right? So it is funny. Like, yeah, we're taking away some of the personable things that maybe people think they would be getting, dropping their car off at a garage. But in actuality, I think we're actually increasing it, because it's more of that one-on-one connection with the person actually working on your car.
Yeah, and like if you took your car to a shop or something, like you would leave it there. It wouldn't be around. Like so now you can have a conversation there if you want to.
Yeah, and it almost seems like, you know, not only is it quicker, but yeah, it's just more efficient in like every way, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
and it's
sorry.
It's things like being a single mom. For example, I was running out of fuel the other night, right? Because I can't
God
go
damn it,
and
Biden.
I can't go and like fill my car up when my kids are sleeping to be ready to take them to school in the morning, right? But with Quibbit, like we do mobile fueling.
Yeah.
So
right.
all your problems are solved.
Oh wow, yeah. So it's not just like, you know, car mechanics, it's like all sorts of different things. So
Lots
could
of
it,
things.
Everything to do with your car.
Is it only cars though? Like, could I hire somebody to paint the outside of my house?
We are focused on we're focused on vehicle services.
Okay.
That's the game right now.
It's actually pretty
Expansion
interesting.
beyond,
Because like we started with home
That's where we
services,
started.
we actually pivoted away from all of that because of COVID.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many you've what kind of research have you done, like, to make sure that this was a good idea? Because obviously you can say everybody's got a car, but like, how many cars are there? Like, do you know that? Like, was that part of the research that you did for this?
So I'll be a little more accurate, rather than how many cars are there, because there's cars that don't need oil changes if you got a Tesla.
Sure.
But what we actually looked at is what's the market for after purchase services that require maintenance, scheduling, or servicing, right? And it's a very large market. I think it was I don't have the number in front of me, but it was like $585 billion worldwide as a global market for aftercare maintenance, right? And if you look at just North America and you narrow it down to say just tire servicing, which is rims included and some of those things, you're still looking at like a $600 million enterprise. Now, that's brick and mortar traditional buildings, right? We're talking about bringing that to just what can be done mobile. But if you look at like what's the small inch of where we can make space there, it's a massive market still available. And that's where we're trying to disrupt the flow. Is you don't need to take it to the garage. You don't need to spend your weekend doing that. You don't need to spend your day doing that. And some of the really interesting stuff that comes out of it, like even when we talk about mobile fueling, a lot of times people look at that and say, well, okay, everything's great, but what about the environmental impact, right? Like you guys are talking about mobile drivers going all over the place. The interesting fact is, on some of the white papers that have been provided, this is a more environmentally sound operation, and the reason is idling is probably one of the worst scenarios for creation of greenhouse gas emissions, when you're just sitting there waiting, because there are drive-through brick and mortar oil change places, right? You can sit in a line, idle there, and eventually it's your turn, and then your car gets up on the jack. So it's actually more environmentally sound than that. And then the other one is, for myself, I would never stay at a garage. Some of the garages don't have spaces for you to actually sit. But I would take the shuttle because it's a free service. So I drop my car off, then I get in the shuttle drives me home. And at the end of the day, the shuttle will come get me and bring me back to the garage, and then I can come home with my car. So our scenario eliminates like 4 trips, right?
Yeah.
And then 2, because we're using cell phones, we can geo-enable that device so that the closest service provider is the one servicing you. Well, that's oftentimes far less than where it would be for me to drive to the nearest garage that I like to go to. So we're actually reducing the distance between the users. We're eliminating idle, and we're not having that 4-trip scenario of having to go and pick up and respond to cars. So it's a cool opportunity, I think.
And we also have EV charging and that sort of things when you start thinking about like the world changing and more EVs coming out. And then also another thing is that with emergency services such as like towing, here in Canada we have like CAA, AMA. They dispatch whoever from wherever in the city. So sometimes they're like crossing paths on the highway, going opposite directions for jobs. Like that's a lot of driving for no reason, right? With ours, you can actually see the locations. You can see where the tow truck is and where this person is and like who should go, the one who is closer.
The reason I laughed is because you just reminded me of a Family Guy joke when Stewie and Brian, they're heading to go and find Santa Claus up north, and their car breaks down, and this guy pulls over to help them. They're in Canada, and he goes, "You got AA?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, AAA," and he's like, "Yeah, no, I don't need AAA. I need, and he keeps going back and forth with the A's and the extra A and the A on the end." Yeah, you've been very good, both of you. You haven't done that. Like, are you in the wrong part of Canada for that?
Oh, the you're a hoser there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not Canadian.
I know,
Iida's
but
not
like,
Canadian.
maybe you could pick it up.
It's one of those things where it's really funny. If I am back with certain members of my family that have that kind of Canadian dialect to them, I'll start talking more like that again. It comes to the forefront. You'll also find it more in like certain provinces than others. So like there's a much stronger stereotypical Canadian accent in say like Manitoba or Saskatchewan, and there's a whole different accent if you're on the East Coast. Like if you're in the East Coast, some people think like Ontario, the East Coast of Canada. No, like St. John's, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, like the proper East Coast, totally different sounding Canadian accent. But it comes out more with those that I'm speaking with. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, because my friend Charlie Simpson, he's from Saskatchewan, so
yeah, there you go.
He's giving it the A like at the end. It's good. I used to know a girl who lived in Kamloops as well in British Columbia. So yeah, big shout out to Lindsay Dalgleish if you're out there. I haven't spoken to this girl since the year 2000. So yeah, 22 years ago. But yeah, we used to be like pen pals or something, when Yahoo Mail was still a thing.
Cool.
Yeah. So like thinking about everything that you do and everything that Quibbit does, how do you have any competitors? And if you do, how does that, how are you guys different to those guys?
Yeah, well, I think in terms of that ability to do mobile servicing on the emergency side, AAA would be like our biggest competitor, an AMA service. I think the difference is between us and them, they don't really sell services, right? They sell the insurance that when you're in a situation, somebody's going to come to help. So you're paying every month for that, whether or not you use it, right? What we're selling is on-demand services, and you don't have to pay anything unless you're using that service. So our whole prospect here is a one-place app that does what all the others that currently do mobile do, but we offer it in a single location with all your pricing up front, and you only pay when you need it. On the flip side, when you talk about non-emergency vehicles, like booking scheduling services for like tire changes, oil changes, car detailing, that side of it, there are a few competitors out there. I think where they've struggled is they've been very focused and narrow on a specific thing that they want to service and provide you. So like we do mobile chipped glass repairs, and that's the app, right? Problem with that is you're not getting, for the customer acquisition cost to bring somebody onto your platform, if you're offering a service that maybe they use once a year, it's probably not going to be worth it in the metrics in the long game. The other thing is if they bring it on and they use your app once, but they don't need it again for a year or 2 years. People forget. Like that app will probably get tossed, or they'll get a new phone and they'll forget to re-download it, right? So our way of trying to acquire customers and keep them and want them to use the app is we try to offer things that we know are going to be repetitive services. So we want to have that connection with them that, yeah, you need your tires changed. At least in Canada, most people have a winter set and a summer set, or an all season and a winter set. That's 2 seasons a year, on and off, right? So we want to use that. But then when we're doing that, we also want to say, hey, all that slush and grime is in your car. Why don't you pair your tire change with the guy that'll come and do a car detail and start your summer right? Like these types of things. So now we've got the repetitive use for the things that you have to do all the time, the maintenance, the oil changes, the things like that, but on the same platform offering emergency services. So now if you are stuck in a ditch, same app, same place, you know, same security and comfort of using it. And that's our differentiator. We want to provide that. The other side of the app is the service providers, right? And what we're trying to do different there is offer them lots of advantages that you can't get as a small shop. You know, if you're a small time oil servicing person, you're probably not going to get a massive bulk detail or a discount because you're not purchasing enough oil to your small shop to get those kinds of discounts. But if Quibbit can be an intermediary, and through our servicing network, we now have a buying power because we have so many oil changes going. Now we can offer to the small shops the discounts that the big shop guys get because we have enough volume to offer that pay through. So we've got a lot of different really cool ideas, lots of stuff coming on board. And we're changing every day, which I think is the other thing. We're super flexible. And a lot of the other companies that have come along have been kind of like, we do this and we're going to do this only. I don't care what the market tells me. It was my idea. And it's like, you better start caring what the market tells you, or else it's not going to be around long, right? So like we've had great ideas, and like Iida said, like we pivoted to come to vehicle services. We tried others, and then we'd launch and we'd go see what the market said. The market said, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. And then we came back and said, well, we got to change this. We did.
Yeah. You know what? We listen. We listen to our customers. We listen to our service providers. And one thing that you forgot there is like we're building these small businesses that don't really have the reach right now, but like they can even get more trucks to do these services when they're on our platform, because they don't have to like have so much like marketing and admin and that sort of things. They get all that through our platform already.
So you know, these all sound like amazing genius ideas. Now, Iida, be honest, these were all your ideas, right? Come on. Now, who was the, you know, come on, who was the guy or the girl or the person who put all this together? Like, is it just the two of you bouncing off one another? You said there was another guy, right? Dave or something?
Yeah, David is our CTO, actually.
Yeah. So
David's our CTO,
what does Dave do? Where's Dave? What's he doing?
What is he doing right now?
Oh,
Right
well,
now?
yeah, well, I mean, just like, where is he? What's he up to?
I think he's teaching right now, but we could call him.
Is he a teacher as well?
Oh my goodness, he's
an entrepreneur.
Smartest guy in the room, really. Like he's built rockets, right?
He builds rockets. Yeah, he's
the Elon Musk of Quibbit.
He's the Canadian Elon Musk from Germany. Or France, sorry, I don't know why I said Germany.
Oh my goodness, did you just say that? He's French.
He's French, but he was working with a German firm before he came over. But anyway.
So is he also based in Calgary as well?
Yeah, he is now.
Okay. So I guess where did this idea come from and stuff? Well, we were actually like talking about a few different ideas, but we were talking to this service provider guy, a towing guy, and like we could see where our needs were and where his needs were. And we found a solution in the middle, right? And that's where Quibbit came from.
Yeah, it's organic. You know, I don't think there's any one person steering the ship. I think, you know, at the end of the day, somebody needs to make a decision, and we've got a bit of a voting process. But like, you know, I think what it is we throw ideas in a hat. I'll call it that.
Yeah.
Pick the one that seems to be the best, and then go try it.
Yeah.
And then if that idea still isn't landing, go back to the hat and pick a different one, or like try a new idea all over again, right? And you got to be okay with that iterative process of learning failure. And I think for us, because a lot of us have already had a couple businesses, successful ones and failures, and we've had enough of that entrepreneurial kick in the gut, we're okay with being wrong, which makes the dynamic really easy in the team.
You've got to be like you have to be. Yeah. Like there's if you're afraid of being wrong or you're too precious with your ideas, you might as well just go get a 9 to 5 because like you know it's never, if it strikes first on the first go, well done. Like, you know, the gods were looking out for you, but like, you've just got to keep going. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. You just, the most important thing I think about being an entrepreneur is having the diligence and, you know, just that persistent, tenacious attitude to go, okay, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Like we never give up. We might give up on an idea, but we just never give up.
Yeah.
So Quibbit is not going to fail because we are going to actually, like, we're just going to make it the exact solution that we need in the market.
Yeah.
And check back in like 3 years with us, Paul, because who knows? Quibbit might be different than what we just said today, right? We're gonna make
and that's okay.
Yeah. Well, my next question was, you know, how long has Quibbit been going for? Like, how long have you guys been working on this for?
1.5 years now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and the current idea, probably less than that. I think we're 1.5 years on a couple ideas that didn't fly, right? And then we landed in the one that we think is the, I don't know, the golden ticket, but you know, it could still change. But we talk to providers and they provide, like, you got to talk to your market. If you're not willing to go out there and talk to people that are going to be your buying power, or sorry, your purchasing, like, you're not doing market research. And that's a really hard place to be in, because the solution for you might not be a solution for everybody.
Yeah. And the version coming out now to the stores, the app is 1.04. So it's the 4th one.
Yeah. So after Quibbit is a success, which it will be, what's next for you guys?
The next startup. Like, I'm not gonna give up on this entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah. But you don't have any sparks right now of something else. You're super focused on Quibbit.
We're super focused on Quibbit, but we've got some ideas. You know, data is king right now, obviously. Data mining, big data analysis, these types of things. So I work with a network of computer science guys and gals. They're actually statisticians. But I think computing, neural networking, and understanding how to see through data in ways that really basic entry-level corporations that have never tried or looked at it before, that's going to be the key process. And these things exist to go out and buy off a shelf. Like, you can go buy Power BI or whatever and go set up your own data mining thing. But the truth is, if you've never been somebody that knows how to look at data and what data tells you, having the tools to put it in a fancy graph is not going to help you that much.
Yeah.
So I think the next big thing is, how do you take data, mine it efficiently, and have, at the end of the day, a result that's tangible, that's easy to describe and discuss with somebody. That's the next thing in my mind. But it's a competitive area right now, you know, an exceedingly competitive area. But you know, if you can be the one that finds the path to take the type of data crunching that we know happens and people yell about it inside of Facebook, inside of all the social enterprises that we all love, like LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, like, the truth of it, they all mine your data, and that's how they make money, right? So they find out who is using your information, what are they using it for, what's their age demographic, what's their preferential in buying, and you can do that. What's interesting to me is we've gone so far down the path of how to mine our social data. Businesses have not really learned how to mine their own internal data. Like, what departments are doing well and why are they doing better than other departments? What is the information on where we spend most of our time and are losing our money? Like, we're really good at giving our information out for free for other companies to mine us, but we're really bad at actually looking at, how does that data work in my day-to-day lives for me, like as a user? How do I use that data? And I think that's an interesting place to be, is mining your own personal data to better spend your time in a day. Like, where am I wasting my time, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that might be the next place.
Yeah, for me, like my passions are in like climate change and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Like looking at Australia, where like every single year there's something going on, either floods or fires, drought, anything like that. So eventually, like that will be where I'm going.
I think India has made huge gains in reclaiming some of their their land that is kind of don't want to say like desertified or affected by the harshness of the sun, by planting trees and just expanding again and again and again outwards. And the more they expand like the trees, the better the the environment is getting around there. The smaller life is starting to come back up beneath the trees where they're growing, and wildlife starts to come back. And it's just it can happen. You can make it a better place. You just got to not like cut down trees and burn them for fuel, because that's dumb. Like if there's
well, I was looking at my friends walking in Manly, in a beach town, and the floods are so bad that like they're knee deep in water just walking on the street, like and that's in the middle of Sydney.
It's either floods or it's fires, like and
that's not okay.
No, definitely
not. I mean, we even in Calgary, we now have summer and smoke, and it's BC forest fires that come into the province. And as my other career is health review, and you look at the depreciation of air quality as a result of that. And it's an interesting thing, because 20 years ago, it was summer and construction was the two things people got, most angry about. Now it's summer and can't go play outside because of smoke. And that's just become kind of like a norm now, because there's been like 3 or 4 years in a row of these like massive fires. And that's a really weird thing to think about. That's become a normality where we almost accept it.
I guess like hundreds or thousands of years ago, if you had those kind of problems, you just kind of get sick of it and move and go somewhere else. But now there's always people everywhere, so someone's going to be affected by a landslide or a fire or or something horrible. I think there was just a tsunami, wasn't there, over in Japan like yesterday or something. It was like a massive world record breaking long earthquake, and then a tsunami or something over there in Japan.
Actually, I didn't read if they got the tsunami, but I know they had a tsunami warning after
right.
the earthquake.
Yeah.
I haven't read the news this morning yet.
What time is it there where you are?
We're getting later in the day now. Iida could lie to you, so she's not. I haven't had time, even though it's 2 PM here.
Is it 2 PM? Yeah. It's
only 1:30.
Is it 1:30? Yeah, it's what is it? It's 20 to 8 in the evening here. Is that weird? Like technology has enabled us to do that.
Yeah, it's funny. Like a lot of.
Yeah. You go.
we're
I was
time
just gonna
traveling.
say, our team in India does a lot of the development for us, and it's so funny because they're a day ahead when we have meetings at night. So we constantly are like, meet Thursday, and they're like, is that Friday for us or Wednesday for you? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Your question's already got my head spinning. But yeah, like almost every time we talk, it's a different day, right? They're already into tomorrow. So it's pretty funny.
Well, I'm used to that because of Australia, right? But I was just gonna say that when I say that it's morning and it's 1:30, like Brandon actually like he texts me at 7 o'clock in the morning, so that's when the day starts.
Well, yeah, I mean, you met Patrick Grossman, from the Power NBA the other day. So Patrick and we message each other every single morning. I don't know if I explained it in that meeting, but we message each other with the day. So today is the 75th day of the year, I think. I'm pretty sure. And so today, like after this, I got to go and do 75 reps with the weights. So he's already done his. And we're like every morning, typically we do it in the morning. We get 75,
Yeah.
we get 75 in today, 76 in tomorrow, 77, 78, 79. And then like come December, we're gonna be like a tank. Like
That's so good though.
yeah, we've kept it up since the 1st of January. We haven't missed a day. And now because it's kind of like, yeah, we did it, you know, we're great. We're adding new things into it as well now. So now we've added hey dude, did you do your 15 minutes power MBA? Like have you studied? You know, we're keeping each other in check. And
Perfect.
And I've added and he hasn't started yet, but I've added, hey bro, just had a nice cold shower. Ice cold shower in the morning, like just to wake me up. Yeah. And you know the brilliant thing about it is I'm saving energy, I'm saving water. So this is right up your street. Yeah, what
you can use that water and make your tea later with it.
Yeah, well, no.
Oh, I think
you don't know.
It's getting too far.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm washing with that. You know, you're gonna need a serious filter after.
Something more than a paint filter, I'd imagine.
But my shower went from, now I can tell you how long my shower was. It was definitely somewhere between 10 and 12 minutes long every single morning. Nice warm shower. And that was because I know that because every morning I would listen to Ted Nugent and that track Stranglehold by Ted Nugent is 8.5 minutes long. So I knew that, put Ted Nugent on, okay, 8.5 minutes, okay, and then I'd get another track, maybe another one. So I'm like, all right, okay, I've been in here like 10 minutes, and then I get out. But
how long was the cold shower?
Cold showers are 2 minutes maximum, 2 to 3 minutes. That's it, and it's just cold water. So I'm saving gas, you know, I'm saving energy. I get under the cold shower, and today's my third one, and actually today wasn't too bad. So I got under it. I rinse myself all the way around, and then I step out from under it, and then I soap myself, soap up in the, you know, all the places that you're meant to, and then I get back under and I rinse myself very quickly, and then I get out again. That's it. I'm done. It's cool. Right. It's totally changed my life in the morning. I've got so much more time for more activities. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right.
I could not do that.
Okay, so we're gonna make a pact now, right? Yeah, the three of us. And
no,
Dave,
I'm not gonna take cold showers. That's not gonna happen.
No, why not?
Oh, I can't do it.
You know what I like though? I like this idea you got for an app, which is like a 1-for-1, where basically you just like start day one, and then you just like put on some people that are a part of it, and then I mean it could be even random connections, but people that start that same day, and you're just doing one of something, and then you're just doing two of something. Like I think you got something there. I would do that. So. I think that'd be cool. Just connect with a group of people, and it's like day one push-up.
Yeah.
Right, or whatever.
Yeah. As long as you have that pressure from other people, and you have to do it. Otherwise, I don't know if my motivation would be.
You think there's an app there?
I do.
Okay,
I mean, you can make it way simpler, and it could
I'm gonna edit this bit out
website.
because if you think it's a good idea, someone else is gonna think it's a good idea.
Well, no, I think it's a good idea. I think you got to market test it, but like, TM on that.
You have to bring it on to Power Labs.
Why don't we do it? Because you guys already know about apps.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
I don't know what I do up to 365. Like that might be like eat a bowl of rice, because it'll have like 365 like pieces, and that's like I could do that.
It could be. Well, I mean,
365 push-ups.
Yeah, but
also you're saying that it's a different thing every day?
No,
so it's not repetition.
No.
They're building.
No, it is repetition. So I do. I work with weights. So I do like bicep curls and I do like a chest press. Yeah. So today's 74. I'm not doing 74 bicep curls all in one go. Obviously, I'm doing different sets, but my total for the day is 74. So if you were doing sit-ups or press-ups, when it gets to 365, you just got to make sure that you're doing it like over the course of the 24 hours.
Over the day. Yeah.
Actually, one thing
5 sets in the morning, 5 sets in the afternoon, 5 sets at night, and you're there.
Yeah.
One thing I don't like about this is that if people can join only at one point of the year, like only start from the first day of the year.
No, that's what we're saying. You just got to join on a day when other people are joining. So it's everybody's day one. At whatever time they join.
Okay. Sure.
And then you have you can have pictures. People be like, I did it.
or we make it really strict, and we okay. So this is this is what we do. We make it really strict, and we make it so that you have to join on the 1st of December. Sorry, 1st of January, and you pay as well. And then on New Year's Eve, if you have achieved everything and it's verified that you've
then you get your money
it,
back.
not that you get the money back, whoever's left in the pot gets the money. So you put your money in, yeah, but you also get everybody else's money. So, or you get a share of the pot. There you go.
My goodness. You could actually make these a health app.
Yeah, could be.
Cool idea.
Could be.
Doesn't even have to be a health app, man. It could be, you just need a group of people willing to do that thing that is something you can do again, right?
That one thing.
Like,
or eating rice. That's what you said. 365 rice pieces.
Well, that's because that's easy, but one rice is almost a little too easy. But yeah, I mean, it could be
the effort of cooking one rice.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Like counting them, like 1, 2, 3, 364.
All right, it was a bad idea. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, you can do people who like the reason I think you can do anything is people who like to take photos of nature.
Yeah,
get 1 photo, get 2 photos, get 3, right? Get out there and
you could even like film yourself doing this repetitions and stuff, and like just keep those same videos going.
Yeah, Paul.
Could do.
I like it.
And like you know, like a very very short video of you like from the waist, from head up, getting in the cold shower. No acting. Like you have to show a thermometer or something. Maybe.
Oh my goodness.
That sounds
You're
too
big on that.
Yeah. I think the health benefits are really good. Maybe that's what I heard from Dr. Berg from YouTube.
Well, I don't know. I have a sauna, so like I go in the hot.
Oh no, right. No, I'm jealous now.
And then you go outside in the snow with the cold, right?
Right. So you do that.
But I have
already.
a hot tub.
Okay, but so you have the exact same thing. Do you know Wim Hof, the Iceman he's from Iceland, I think, or he's from Finland or something like that?
No.
Okay, so he's the guy who started this cold shower thing and started the ice baths. You see Kevin Hart and all those celebrities, they sit in an ice bath and they do like cryo freeze, like Joe Rogan's like in a cryo freeze.
And that's actually on TikTok too.
Yeah. So like they get in the cryo freeze. They're only meant to be in there for like 10 seconds. I think Joe Rogan did like 3 minutes or something stupid the other day. He almost cryogenically frozen himself. Yeah. And so it came from that guy. I think he's called Wim Hof, and he's known as the Iceman. And yeah, so you know all about that. Your culture's all about that. Like you, Norway, even in Latvia and Russia and Estonia, they like over there they have what's known as a banya. Do you know that word, banya? No, it's a Russian sauna. So like the same sort of thing. You have the sauna, except when you see, I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I went to this before. But I was in Latvia and my friend was like, "Yeah, I'll take you to a Russian sauna. I'll take you to a banya." So I go there, and you know, as Europeans do. Sorry, Brandon. They okay. As Europeans do, everybody you go there and they've got their schlongs hanging out, and you know I didn't know where to look, being mostly kind of English or British, I'm like being a prude. And then it was my turn to sort of experience this treatment in the sauna, and so I get escorted into this room and I get to lie down, and then this naked Latvian man puts on a little leather hat. And I'm thinking, what's going to happen now? And he gets a big bushel of like leaves, like a branch, like birch tree leaves. He dips it in the water, puts it on the coals, and then he's whipping me with it. He's like sprinkling the water and he's like doing it on the feet and stuff like that. So have you had that in Finland? Do you do something similar?
Well, I mean, we always hit each other with birch branches, but like we don't really put it in the hot first.
Yeah, so he put it in the cold water, do the cold, put it in the water, and then put it on the coals, make it hot. So you're going from hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold, and then he was like, "Right, you're done." So I had to go out into the snow, because I think it was January or something when I was there.
Yeah.
And out in the snow, roll around, come back in.
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah, that's interesting when like also Canadians lots of times say this, that they feel like when they go to Finland, for example, they go to a sauna and stuff, like they don't know where to look and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's part of these insecurities and stuff where like you're just like, I don't know, like you're not completely happy with your body because you're like, should I hide?
You think so? I don't
Yeah,
know. Like
we grow up in
yeah.
households where like you can completely be yourself, you can just walk around naked,
Yeah.
like that sort of things. And like, to be honest, like my my ex-partner, the first time he saw my mom naked was when we had been living together for a month. When she just like, actually, you better not put this on the podcast. Gosh, I just say this about my mom. But yeah, like she was just like walking across the hallway to go to the shower and stuff, just completely naked.
Well, I had something similar happen to me. I used to go with this girl back in like 2010, 29, and man, her mum was a big lady. She was a big mama. And like we came in from town one day and she was going from her bedroom to the bathroom fully naked. And she looked down and I was like, oh Jesus, Linda. And she looked and she was like, ah, like ran. She like ran to the bathroom and I was like, whoa, that was like something else. So was that what he was going through? Did he scream? Like, did anybody scream? They were just fine.
No, he didn't scream, but he was like very uncomfortable. And I've actually taken somebody home to Finland and stuff. And like when they go to the sauna with my dad and stuff, they're like feeling like, oh, like, what should I be doing?
Brilliant.
I'm like, you should be yourself. Like you don't have to be looking down or anything.
Yeah. You're
not comparing anything. You just like have normal conversations. In Finland, we actually have this thing called like innovation sauna. It's in a university. That's where entrepreneurs or students or whatever can go in and they can be completely naked, can be completely themselves and just bounce off ideas.
Dude, sign me up. Let's go. It sounds brilliant.
It's funny, right? This? Like the cultural differences.
Yeah.
Like that would just, not only would that not happen in Canada on a university campus for one, I think it would encourage people who have not experienced other cultures or cultural ways of being free like that. People would probably protest it for some reason, for some agenda of like, this isn't allowed because of fill-in personal objection without ever actually seeing the other side of it, which I think is a really, it's an odd thing, right?
I wonder like if that would sort out all of these different gender issues that we've got. Like
I don't know, like Finland is pretty much completely equal.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? Like,
sure.
Being naked and being completely yourself, you can't hide.
Yeah. Well, I lived in
the
naked truth. Yeah, the naked truth. I lived in a house share for like more than 5 years up in Blackpool. I got to tell you, my housemates saw their fair share of me naked, like walking around the house. I didn't care. I was, I even have a mankini. Do you know what a mankini is? Like Borat.
Like Borat.
Yeah, I've got one of those. Like,
that's terrifying.
After this, I'll send you a picture of me in the mankini back at the house. I'll send it to you.
Doing your reps?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Doing reps in a cold shower. You should be in the mankini.
Do you want me
video
to
in a cold shower and just doing your 47 reps?
Okay, I will. Yep. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that after this, and I will send you the video. I'll get my wife to record it.
That's beautiful.
And how is she? How would she be about that?
How would she? Oh, she knows. Yeah, she knows. She married me.
Paul's doing another one in his videos.
Yeah. I went to Malaga just before we had our baby, so like 2018, and I was over there with my friend. He lives over there, Kuro, and his wife, and there were 6 of us all together, so three couples, and we hired this like little villa, but there was a pool area that was shared. And I come out in this mankini and a hat and flip-flops, and I go to the communal pool, and I have a little inflatable penguin. And the people there were like, what is this guy doing? I was like, morning, how are you doing? Morning. Like, and that ass is like just wobbling around on show. But yeah,
might as well.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm fine. It's all good. It's all good. So anyway, I think
we've covered a lot of ground here today.
Yeah, Yeah, I think we've done a lot. We've achieved a lot here. Also, I've got a question. I think, we've done this podcast, but guys, you've got to come back. Like, definitely, even if we're not talking about Quibbit, we're not talking about business. If we're just talking nonsense, I can feel that, hopefully you feel it too. Maybe there's some
I mean,
sort of
after 2 hours.
yeah, there's some sort of chemistry here. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
it's funny.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yes. Okay.
Anytime.
I love it.
So
I can understand why this is what you're passionate about, right? I mean, it's a fun activity to interact with people.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. We'd
So-
absolutely love to come back.
Before
Next
obviously,
time, bring David as well.
yeah, bring David.
Yeah, and Cody. We'll have the whole team.
Yeah, do it, because I've only, like, for a very long time it was only one-on-one, and only recently I've started doing, like, me and two other guests, and I think that
Yeah.
works really well. So I know that Brandon, you've got to head off. You got like another thing to go to go do. You're a busy guy. So where can the listeners and the Quibbit fans, where can people hear more about you, learn more about you, more about your brand? Do you have an online presence? Obviously, you're in the App Store because I found you. But where else can they get hold of your guys' companies, your projects? Where are you, both of you?
Well, we have a website, obviously, Quibbit.com, where you can find more information, and that's where you can find our socials as well, QuibbitINC, on all platforms. And yeah, LinkedIn. I'm sure you will put a link to our LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're happy to connect.
Beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any last words for not last words, obviously this is not the end of your life, but like, do you have any last words for your fans? Because I'm sure you've got fans now.
Brandon, do you have any last words?
Last words to the average entrepreneur or to somebody that wants to reach out?
Yeah,
I'll do two.
Yeah,
I'll do two.
Yeah.
For people that want to reach out, it's bsmith@Quibbit, QUBBIT.com. You can reach me there anytime. For those who are just like entrepreneurial or thinking about throwing their hat towards it, two big things. One, you don't have to have a huge budget. I think that's a big step where people stop. They think they got to, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 to get started. Absolutely not, right? Find something that you love, find something that fits. You can do it as a hobby to start, find that it has a match and a finding, and then work forward. So don't feel like there's ever a money issue. I mean, if your idea is huge and it takes a lot of money, then sure. But entry-level things, entrepreneurial, does not need a condition for go is a dollar amount. The other one is, like we said before, don't worry about getting kicked in the gut. I've had lots of bad ideas that I thought were great. They didn't work out. I think I've got 4 right now that are making money. We'll say that's a metric of success. I probably had 15 before that didn't do anything. And that's okay. So keep trying.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest mistake would be actually throwing a lot of money at something. Rather just like start small and like see where it goes and see where it takes you. And you don't have to have like a final product right away. You can always pivot.
Yeah, and have fun as well. Enjoy doing it. Yeah, because if you're not,
find people that enjoy doing it with you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much, guys, for your time. I know we've gone on for a little bit. So yeah, I had a lovely time. Absolutely amazing to meet you, Brandon, and Iida. Like, just wonderful. Like, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for setting this up. It wouldn't have happened without you. So yeah, I wish Quibbit all the best for the future and you guys, and I hope that this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, like, for the 3 of us. Like,
yeah, and
if I'm coming
you.
on too strong, just tell me. It's cool. Just don't ghost me. I can take it.
I'm just figuring out when I can like fly over there and visit you. Like,
Yeah,
that's
you
where
should.
my head's at.
Yeah, you should, for sure. Like, summer is best for me because I'm a teacher, so I have like from the 8th of July till around about the sort of 28th of August off. So there's a good period there where like meeting for brainstorming or ideas, or if you want to come over and take you to London or Manchester, whatever you want to do. Yeah, it's fine. Let's go. Let's party. Let's do it.
Do it.
Yeah, bring the
Oh, you
kids.
party people.
No, bring the kids for sure. Like, you know, because we got 2 kids as well. So that's what, 6 kids and like loads of people. So yeah, you know, they'll be fine. There's loads of cool stuff to do here in the UK, as long as it's not raining.
My daughter's gonna want to meet a princess. That's all she's gonna want to do in the UK. That's where my daughter's whole vision of what Europe is just castles, and that's where princesses come from.
Yeah. Well,
that's her idea.
Yeah,
so.
she's not wrong. Like, that is true. Yeah, and where I actually live is not very far from where William and Kate live. They literally only live like 5 miles up the road. Kate and William have been seen in the local Sainsbury's, which is like a supermarket here. It's literally a mile down the road. They shop here, they do their business here. Like, they don't live very far away from here. So
Okay, but do you miss Harry?
do I miss him? Yeah, he's like you know, our little ginger champion. He got stolen by the States, you know, but hopefully he'll come back. It's yeah, I know he's very popular, like with people over here, and I think around the world as well. And you know, nothing against Meghan Markle, like, you know, she's great as well, but you know, they've got to forge their own path and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
That's fine. Yeah, that's cool. You know, you got to live their own life for them, not for, you know, some archaic monarchy. I'm never going to get my knighthood now. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for your time, and lovely to meet you both. And I'll send you the video of me and the Mankini shortly.
Yes, and we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So are you both coming to that?
Yes, Brandon.
Are you coming to that, Brandon?
I am now.
Brilliant. Yeah, so that's the Power MBA Brain Labs with myself and Patrick Grossman. We're gonna, you know, help you to, obviously you've got ideas, but you seem how hyperactive I can get. We're just there to be a mirror, like a magic mirror that you can look into and talk to and look for answers, and we're going to throw them back at you, and with the help of other wonderful Power MBA entrepreneurs who are out there as well, that they'll help you with that as well. So yeah, that's the 7th of April at 7 p.m. Central European time. That's it. So lovely.
Good luck.
Thanks very much, guys. Love you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.